gonna speak, I'm not gonna raise my hand because you don't recognize me when I do that, so I'll make
Mike, would you
sure
like
I'm
to
on the
speak?
record so
Okay.
that, I'd like to, second Mr. Tracy's comments. The number of minutes has nothing to do with, the way people are treated. Mr. Yount gives $250 to your campaign, and he's allowed to come in here. He talks about his trip to Europe, and he comes home and he's got 500 emails, and he goes on and on and on about nothing relevant to anything. And Commissioner Johnson sits quietly, doesn't tell him to make his point. But when I second what Tom says and when I second what Joe says, all of a sudden I'm interrupted by Commissioner Johnson because he wants me to make my point. Number one, he's got no authority to tell me to make my point. And number two, I'm wondering why he doesn't interrupt Mr. Yount and tell him to make his point. Well, Mr. Yount donated $390 to his campaign. I'm in here speaking on May 11th. And I'm questioning why Mr. Yount gets special treatment. And Mr. Yount interrupts me while I'm speaking. I don't interrupt other people while they're speaking, but Mr. Yount can interrupt me while I'm speaking, and he does it with impunity. I sat here, I watched Mr. Fabian. He sat here and he railed on Republicans. He's talking about going through the county, looking at all these campaign signs, and Republican is a four-letter word. They're not even proud enough to put their name on their signs. And I never saw any of you guys interrupt him. I'm waiting for him to make his point. But then again, him and his wife donated $100 to your campaigns, right? I think he donated $100 and I think his wife donated $100. I mean, we watched Case Call come in here, right? He gets to be on the agenda and give his presentations about global warming. How much did he donate to your campaigns? There's a different standard here, right? Jim comes in here and he mentions ecologist from Port Townsend, and he's told no derogatory language, no threatening remarks, and no personal attacks. Yet Mr. Fabian can sit here in the corner and rail on whoever he wants. Mr. Yount can rail on whoever he wants. And they're not interrupted, but Jim can't say ecologist from Port Townsend, right? Larry can't mention John Austin's name, right? I mean, there is special treatment. I mean, tell me how much I need to donate to your campaign to get the same kind of privileges that Mr. Yount gets, Mr. Fabian gets.
Time's up, Mike. Thank you. Anybody else this morning?